today I want to do a flip through. I love doing flip throughs. It means that I have finished a sketchbook, and in this case it's a insert with Tomoe River paper. This is the off-white and it's the thicker one, so I'll try to put it up here somewhere. So I bought quite a few. I still got a few backups in black, but originally I bought in different colors like orange, pink and this sort of red, but it's got it was sort of laying in the sun and it has sort of bleached it a little bit. So these are available on Etsy from the shop Good Inkpressions. It says here letterpress, handmade stationery. I really like them. There's loads available, but there's something about this. I feel that it's sort of elegant, it's simple, and I don't know, it just has a good feel to it. I like the way it's done. It's a good, you know, quality. The person that sells them really pays attention. I mean, I've bought on Etsy before where it has been really rubbish quality and, you know, quality control wasn't really there. So I was really happy when I found this seller, and just really nice. And then I would get with every free insert, I'd get this little paper clip, which is also super cute. It has a cool look to it. So let's start. So this one, as you will see, it all focuses on my kind of fashion illustrations, and I have started it in April 2018. I can't believe that that's how long it has been. But yeah, so it's taken me a couple of years to finish this this insert. And let's see, so we have Lamy tie. So this is Lamy Fine with Lamy Black ink. This is possibly when I first bought my Lamy fountain pens. I'm trying to see if I can find them to show you. I don't know, they disappeared. As always, everything disappears. So yeah, this is the fine one, and that's the ink. So as you can see, it's water soluble. And I actually like the ink because it's very black. It's kind of like stark black. If you really scribble with it, it almost has that bit of a gloss to it. It's that black, but then with a bit of water it sort of moves into this beautiful, you know, middle ground gray. Next one I have here, it's the Lamy Extra Fine with Waterman Intense Black ink. So that's the one that predominantly I use in this sketchbook. The Waterman ink, as you can see, when you look at it, it looks black, but I'd say it doesn't look as intense as this black. It also has a tone to it, so I'd say it's more of a like a really, really dark, cool toned gray, but it's a black. But if you compare it to, for instance, this looks a lot blacker to me. When you water it out, however, look what happens. You get this beautiful, it almost looks like I added color. I did not. This is just water and the ink. It separates into this beautiful color, and I love working with it like in that sort of fashion. So as a comparison here, you can see it's just one-dimensional ink, and this one definitely has that sort of gray look to it. So I absolutely love the ink. Then just a little bit of, you know, illustration with flowers and flower heads. They kind of remind me of like Addams Family type of a style, or Tim Burton. I don't think I tried to kind of head towards the Tim Burton style here, but it does remind me for sure. Then we have St. Petersburg Paints Grey with Fine Tech Bronze. So I was just playing around with a bit of sketching and illustrating. Here, this was more, again, playing around. This was the Sailor Fude the Mannen. And this is the 55 degrees. Oh, this one I can find to show you. So this is that one. and you can go from really fine, you can actually turn the nib upside down. So for those of you who don't know what fude is, it's a band nib like so, and there we go, you can see it now. And then if you turn it upside down, you can get really fine lines as such. And then as you start sort of, you know, bring it back to the normal way, if you go onto the tip again, that will be quite thin, and then you can just start tilting it down. And when it starts to go flat on the paper, you'll get this really thick line like here. And it's fun. I tend to rotate ink fairly quickly when I want to play around with it. I had a number of different inks in there. And then this is a little sticker I created on transparent paper from my stamp sets. I have a floral stamp set and FOTD stamp set. If you are new, they're available on my Etsy, Alyona Creates. Then there is more to kind of fashion illustrations, and I was playing around with this pen here. I really enjoyed it because of the thickness of the line I could create and achieve, and yeah, that was really, really fun, I thought. In the same kind of style, I went ahead and I created these faces. Actually, looking at it now, I can see this sort of small lip. As you'll see, my style sort of changing throughout the years. Lately, I'm into kind of creating a smaller lip. So, yeah, that's quite interesting. Then we have a few here. This is, I'm not sure what ink this is. It looks completely black, and it's got some sort of gold watercolor to it for the skin tone, I guess. Here are some more stickers that I printed off my original artwork, and yeah, and just stuck them. Didn't really work that well, so that's why they came out quite faded. This one I have doodled over after creating like a stamped image. I doodled over and created this crown. So if you look closely, it's basically stuck on. So again, it's on transparent paper. That's why it makes it look like it's actually a finished illustration. And I really love this look, so I might actually try something like that soon if I find the time. But this was really fun. It's one of my favorite illustrations. Another one of my favorite illustrations. This reminds me so much of a famous fashion illustrator. Goodness, if I can think of his name, I'll put it down here. I think it's David something. Anyway, again, I didn't try to draw in his style at all, but once it was finished, it really reminded me of that style. So this one has, I think, Diamine yellow ochre ink, maybe, or sepia ink. Then we are now changing a little bit. So I was kind of going off the typical style that I had and trying something more different, and didn't like it. The pen was creating a muddy kind of messy look, I felt. And then, so this, I didn't put a stamp on here, date stamp, but this must have been some point last year, or maybe even the year before, not sure. And then I had a long break and decided to go back into kind of creating and finishing the sketchbook, which was, as you can see, in December 2020. And I had something in mind. I wanted to do like a one-line drawing, and this came out completely not how I envisioned it, and I really hate it. This is like my least favorite illustration in this sketchbook, to the point where I want to just like maybe put some paint over it. Just don't like it at all. But it then resulted me trying again, and we came to this style, which really has dominated how I am currently enjoying face illustrations. And I used, so this is watercolor and ink, and I have used Posca pen to create this kind of like a sweater, woolly kind of texture. So that's a fun way of doing it, just a bit of doodling over a watercolor. Here we have, I think, a mix of Daniel Smith watercolors and Ecoline, which creates again a different look. So here I used a pipette to deposit the watercolor and then just use a bit of brush to blend it in places. But I do like the scribbly effect from the pipette, so I just kept it like that. It almost creates like a creased heavy fabric look. This is another one I really love. It just came out in such a fantastic way and style, I feel like. It feels very... you know, sometimes when you sit down to draw, you kind of try to maybe create something that's in your mind. And this just happened. And sometimes those things that happen just easily and naturally, they are the best in my opinion. But yeah, so I really enjoyed this one. Here is another lady. This was just before Christmas, and I thought to give her a little headband. I started overworking things. I had again an idea of trying something and it was too much, so I just thought, okay, I learned from that and I move on. This one came out, again, too much, way too much going on here for me. Generally, if I could take this off, I think this would be already a much better piece. So, you know, with Tomoe River, I'm not sure if I could just put some maybe white acrylic or something, or just leave it like that. Again, what I can do is later on recreate this illustration without that, and sort of go with it, because I think it would be really beautiful. It reminds me of these sort of elegant kind of, you know, the clown statues that you buy, but they're not the clowns, they're the other ones, whatever they are. Yeah, so that's that. This was again watercolor and a bit of Posca pen with a bit of gold doodling there over it. This one is interesting. She's got a bit of a like a comics style to her. I like her dress though. I like the fashion style of hers. Then this is just like a floral crown with a bit of a wash of watercolor to create a, you know, like a feathered, maybe, you know, a ruffled up fabric piece. Now this is something I quite like. So basically when I was doing this illustration that I showed you, this is what I had in mind, a one line kind of like an artsy drawing, but this came out completely wrong. It's also the perspective, it's, you know, flat and it's sort of looking straight ahead. There is no movement, there is no posture, and it's quite heavy-handed as well. Whereas here I have used, actually in all of the latest ones I showed you, I have used the Kaweco Sport, which is this one, I think is the fine, extra fine, loaded with that Waterman ink, so you can see what happens in these areas once you add water. I find that the sooner you add water to a thick line with it, the more interesting it becomes. And then I'm thinking, what is... I can see a bit of these thick lines. I don't remember what I used there now. Is that the ink I have in here? No, there's something different in here. Yeah, so I'm not sure entirely, but anyways, so that's what I've done here. And then I have gone ahead and added a bit of gold doodling into her, so she kind of looks almost futuristic, I'd say. And then coming to the end of the sketchbook, just playing around with the Museum Aquarelle Caran pencils and also doing a bit of swatching here for future reference, adding a bit of Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils here as well, and just that. This one, I really like her. There's something about her which is so simple and elegant, and, you know, just a little red dress, little red lip, and there you go. It's kind of like almost you know, Chanel style to it, in the sense of high luxury, elegance, but simplicity. So that's how I see her. And then final one, this one, I decided to actually add a few more art supplies, and I really enjoy the style, so I might carry on exploring this, because here I have the FWs, Daleroni acrylic inks, then I have the Museum Aquarelle Caran pencils again, and this time I also added some of the Neocolor 1, which is water resistant wax oil pastels, so they don't smudge, they stay completely put. So if you like no mess in your sketchbooks, but you want that sort of look, then these are pretty good. And yeah, just kind of played around, and I like this sort of, you know, pop of pink with the warm brown colors here, and it kind of creates more of a illustrative style, and I don't know, I like it. I like a bit more texture in this one, so there's a little bit more going on without too much. That's how I like it. All right, I hope you enjoyed this one, and have a lovely day, and see you soon.